Sorry, East. It wasn't intentional to join at this wrong time. But let me just get your party started so nobody else can hear me. So we've joined right at the end of qualifying, and we are live for round one in F3 this season, where it looks like Darius Bowden is going to take pole position for the race. I am your commentator, Darius Mazahari, also known as Zolf, where everyone is complaining of a lot of issues as a result of me joining last second. Anyway, so qualifying's just been wrapped up. Darius Bowden is going to start in the front row, along with Christian Lubinov. Then William Matthews in third. Manuel Olami, I hope I've said your name correctly, is in fourth. Lucas Franiak in P5. Bard Tsunami, who makes his return to Ero after a season ban last season, is in P6. Callum Lyons P7. Macaulay Beard in P8. Meilberg in P9, I don't know you. Vince Vincenza P10. Sparrow Maltby, Mats Tidhart, who makes a return to Ero. Ahmed Rich, Robbie Knable, Twinsicle, Andrea Rankovic round out everyone who actually set a time. Then Derry Phillips did not set a time, and neither did Adam Matsuyak. And that will bring out our grid. We have 19 drivers on the grid today. Derry Phillips says he lost P5 over what just happened. Now, I'm just going to check we actually are able to hear the stream. And we can. And it is dry, unsurprisingly, in Bahrain. 15 corners in total on this track, 3 main overtaking zones. They are turns 1, turns 4, and turns 11. With 3 DRS zones. Pole for this time, usually we're in the 1 minute, low minute 129s, give or take. On drivers' skill issues, as we're just waiting for everyone to load into the lobby. So, up to speeds of 309 kilometers an hour usually. Max Verstappen comfortably won today in real life in Bahrain by nearly 20 seconds. Absolutely dumped it on the whole of the F1 tier. Anyway, 5 red lights. And Darius is going to lead us away. And it's lights out and away we go. And the Bard Tsunami has got a drive-through penalty, are ready for a jump start. Everyone else seems to get away quickly able to run up to turn 1. No action so far. Here we go. Almost fire abreast going to turn 1 there. And there's a lot of contact. And that is the Alpine of Darius Bowden. He's already dropped down to P6 already. Unfortunately for him, which is William Matthews in P1 after the first turn. A lot of action here. As Lucas Safraniak has made his way up to 3rd, Macaulay Beard up to 7th, now dropping down to 8th. Christian Lubinov back up to 4th place. He is fighting with Darius Bowden as there's a yellow flag in Sector 1, and that is the Haas of Derry Phillips, and he is very far behind. And that is another car which looks like to be Andrea Rankovic's Red Bull and Callum Lyons' Alpine. They're both stopped on track and going to have to get back on. That's brought out the virtual safety car. So, a lot to process there in the first 40 seconds of the race or so. William Matthews up 2 places, Manuel Lemmy up 2 as well. Lucas Safraniak also up 2. Darius Bowden unfortunately down 3 after starting in pole position. Christian Lubinov the same after starting in P2. Macaulay Beard up 2 places. Bard Tsunami down 1, and he is going to have a drive-through as well for the jump start. Mats Tidhart up 4, Ahmed up 4, Meilberg down 1, Rob Knable down 4. Adam Matsuya, up 6 places. She's the biggest beneficiary of the start. And Callum Lyons down 11. Just looking at everyone's tyres. So nearly everyone elects to start in the mediums, apart from Mats Tidhart, Vince Vincenza, and Sparrow Maltby. As we're back racing, and further up the front, there's a lot of contact there, and that's an end plate of a McLaren there after coming off. I think it's of Yeast. And he's not going to be too happy about that, as a lot of drivers have dived into the pits already. Vince setting the fastest lap of the race. I see he's in P1. So, 2 drivers into the pits. I'm sure we will see a few more. Adam's going to get the move done on Vince there. This is another yellow flag in Sector 3, and that looks to be Derry Phillips he's not having a good run of it so far in his first race back in Ero. As Malvin Allen's assessing Yeast, and we have our first retiree of the session, which is Derry Phillips. William Matthews leading us away, half a second at the moment clear of Manuel. Mr. Olemi, I've raced with him before in another league. Good lad. Prone to acts of madness, but aren't we all? Lucas Safraniak, who's teamed up with Sparrow Maltby this season to get 2 commentators in F5. Also good lads, very clean racers. Made a good run of it last season in F4, or in F3, sorry. As Derry Phillips has left the session, hopefully it doesn't cause too many issues. Now, if I remember straight, Christian Lubinov said at the start of the week that this is going to be easy for him to win and that he is faster than everybody this year, which we wrote up in the weekly report, which we actually ended up not publishing. And he is not showing at the moment, as some person has just joined. Mackie, whoever you are, get out. You're not supposed to be here. William Matthews setting another fastest lap now of the race, naturally enough. And we have a large DRS train forming as Malberg is gotten past Master Hart into turn 1, and he's made a late dive on Admed there. Mackie's just bugged the session, whoever this guy is. And the 2 Williams further back are fighting in P9 and P10, Rod Knebel and Adam Matsuyak. And they're going to go side by side into turn. No, they're not going to go side by side in turn 4. The back out at the last second. Darius Bowden getting past Manuel Olemi for P2, trying to recover after the poor start that he had. With William Matthews benefiting from all this action behind him, he's going to pull away over a second now. He's going to be outside DRS when it is enabled. Christian Lubinov and Malberg are fighting into turn 10. There's a bit of a lock-up there. Lovely helicopter cam there. And you can see Malberg is chasing down Christian. Both drivers are going to be having DRS into turn 11. A good overtaking zone. If you can get side by side with the car before the braking point. Master Hart, has to be said, returning to Ero after a bit of a break. Good to see you back, sir. So you can have a good season with us. Vince Vincenzo joined, the Canadian driver joined late last season. In the crossplate here, showed very good promise. Also racing in F1 once or twice. As Darius Bowden sets the fastest lap of the race, and he is hunting down William Matthews. Anberg has gotten past Malberg, and Med has gotten past Malberg, I beg your pardon. And Vince Vincenzo has gotten past Rob Knebel. They're going to go side by side in turn 1. With the move already completed by Vince, and he's got the laggy racer is going to be attacking him with DRS now. As a bit of a train forming now from P11 all the way to P14, with Sparrow just outside the 1 second required. Large train form now all the way from P1 to P9. So this race is anybody's at this point, very much up for grabs still. And we'll see how this unfolds. So Ahmed has actually Christian's managed to drop Ahmed just about. Will he get DRS is the question. He'll probably have to use his battery if he hasn't gotten it now to catch back up. And it looks like he hasn't, and he's going to be vulnerable now to the drivers behind. And the top 4 not really pulling away. I don't think Christian's going to keep within that 1 second gap here. Even if he has to use a bit of battery, he is flashing red, which means he has used up all of his ERS. So is the drivers in front, Lucas Safraniak. Just bring up the telemetry here just to have a look. So Manuel has quite a bit of battery left. So does William. And Darius the least amount of the top 3. Coming into the the run down to turn 4, William Matthews is going to try this move to get down on the outside, and he has a tiny bit of contact there. Both drivers keeping it relatively clean as they go into the S's side by side as well. This could end up in disaster if they're not careful. William gets the move to stick though, and this has left Darius wide open to Manuel now. And I was right behind him here, sniffing his gearbox, coming into the rundown at turn 9 and eventually into the turn of death, turn 10. Heaviest braking zone on this track, and probably the heaviest braking zone on the F1 calendar. And there he's going to have DRS on William. William has been in charge of much of this race up to this point here, extending the track limits as much as possible, as you can see there, taking what's known as the esports line, just to get the best exit. And further down the field, gaps have begun to form. Christian is 1.5 seconds nearly away from Lucas Safraniak, whereas we knew him in F3 last season as Lucas with a hard end. And Christian's used up all of his battery, unfortunately for him. Meilberg still a bit of ways to getting back DRS, and he's going to be vulnerable to Rafael Medrios, I think it is. And most drivers have DRS here, as Darius has actually gotten the move done on William, I missed that, sorry, into turn 1, but William's going to come right back at him with DRS. And he's probably not going to... He's going to attack him here into turn 4, and he's got the inside line here, but he's not going to be able to make that stick. Takes a bit of curve as well, which compromises him. A bit of contact there. They did well not to lose the car out of him, or create more chaos behind. And again, this benefits Manuel, as William was miles off the track there, as this benefits Manuel, and he's able to keep with the leaders. And he gets a bird's eye view of the action in front of him, because any carnage that occurs in front of him, he'll be picking up position straight away with his Carlos Sainz helmet. Bit of a shaky exit there at turn 10 by William Matthews, and he's going to have DRS though on Darius, and he might look to make a move here or sell the dummy. Decides against it, but doesn't get the best of lines there. Sparrow gets past Twinsicle further down the field for P12, and Laggy Racer gets past Vince Vincenza as well, as it looks like there is a P18 now, as Callum Lyons has also gotten past him. Further up the field, these two drivers are just squabbling, and they're going to be fighting all race long, but it looks of it. Both been keeping it very clean. Little touches and bruises at this point, but nothing too serious. It's Williams' turn to have DRS on the run down to turn 1. And he's going to get this move done miles before it, as a lot of drivers changing positions as Lucas Safraniak dives into the pits quite early. Let's hope he doesn't have any damage. Meilberg also getting past Ahmed. And it looks like this time Darius is not going to get the move back on William on the rundown, as Twinsicle gets past Sparrow. Them two have been fighting quite a bit in the last few laps. Bart Tsunami up to 14th, Twinsicle up to 11th. Now the top 3 are starting to break away from the rest of the field, and the DRS train is not half as big as it used to be. Only 3 drivers caught behind the train. Sparrow and Twinsicle fighting again. We're going to have a look at this, as these two have just been going at it the whole time. Twinsicle at the moment getting the better of Sparrow. And the Ferrari of Rich 24 has entered the fray, and he's actually had a bit of a moment there, as they run into turn 10 there. Now Twinsicle will be vulnerable to Sparrow if Sparrow gets a better exit, as he has DRS. And we're going to follow this from the back. This gearbox. William has almost dropped Darius Bowden out of DRS, which would be a relief for him. And if he really wanted to, William could have probably pushed that out, as it does have a much bigger battery advantage. But he's happy to maintain it. Let Darius use up his tyres, if need be. And Manuel is going to be vulnerable to Christian Lubinov here, the Bulgarian stallion himself. Meilberg dropping down 2 places further down the field. And there's a lot of drivers very close to each other as we're going past turn 2 at the moment. Turn 2 could be DRS heavy zone. There's a bit of desync there. Or DRS traction heavy zone. And it looks like Meilberg will get past Ahmed. Ahmed's coming right back at him, almost like a mini switchback there. So we're going to go side by side into the S's, but Ahmed thinks better of it. Rafael conceding the place as Twinsicle and Sparrow again are fighting on the track. Twinsicle staying ahead just for now as they're entering the S section, coming up to turn 8. You sometimes see drivers doing an unorthodox dive there. It's not really known as an overtaking zone though. Turn 10 is a better, well, it's still not a great spot to do it. Turn 11 is the best out of sector 2. But drivers have been known to do it in the past. Sparrow almost goes into the back of Twinsicle. There's a beautiful helicopter shot. These 3 drivers have been squabbling there for the last 2 or 3 laps. And you're going to have to think Sparrow's going to have the better of them now as the tyres begin to go off on the medium runners. And Darius rapidly closing into the back of Williams. He's nearly made half a second this last lap. Neither driver using that much battery. In fact, Darius has gained about 10% battery the last lap alone. He's rapidly closing in, and he's probably going to get this move done way before the detection point. Way before it. We would like it to be a bit later, probably. As there's a bit of touch there, there's a bit of contact there we can hear. Seems to handle that quite well. The two drivers up front have pulled away from the rest of the field as Christian Lubinov now in P3 with a 2-second differential. As they're going to go side by side into turn 4, William on the outside, Darius on the inside. Sorry, Darius on the outside, William on the inside, and he manages to keep the position very narrowly. As he gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as he has retired from the session, unfortunately for him. And I'm sure. Sorry, I'm just texting. While driving is William, still in the back. Still in the back. That's a big shake there from William Matthews. On the run down to turn 14. The drivers are going to catch up now. So, Matt, the two Alfa Romeos in P3 and P4 at the moment. Neither driver has any ERS left, so there's going to be not much attacking. And still a bit ways away. A bit of a train forming now, all the way from P6 to P9, with Meilberg, Ahmed, Mats, and Vince Vincenza all chasing Adam Matsuyak. Further down, the three drivers from before as Williams gotten past. Well, William and Darius are going side by side, and we're going to follow this again into turn 4, into the S's now. Exact same as last time. Darius on the outside, William on the inside. Darius keeping the position. As Williams looked, he's checked out Darius there. See if they can make a move. Might actually get to move the stick here in the DRS zone into turn 11. Sticks the ground to fork here, pretty nice. Takes a bit of curve, it's okay. Gets to move the stick, and now he has his chance to pull away. But here comes Darius Bowden on the outside, now on the inside, weaving left, then right. Has the inside here, and these two are going to drag race down to turn 14 and then turn 15. Turn 15 is just a notch on the track. But now a driver really wants to win this drag race, to be honest, because they're going to... Exactly! Because both drivers want DRS. I'm not sure who won it here. Darius Bowden won it, and he gets the place as well. William Matthews tried to brake to get DRS. And that is the end of that skirmish. For now, William's going to have DRS now on the run down to turn 4, and this has brought Christian Lubinov right back into contention here. 2-second gap, dropped down to under 1 second, as there's a yellow flag in sector 1. We don't know for what exactly. Doesn't look like there's any driver actually off the track. And yes, so now the top 4 all within a second of each other, 2 seconds in total, and P5 is 3.5 seconds away. P4. And those drivers on the mediums are going to start to feel it a bit more. There's going to be lots of grip quite quickly. And this benefits Mats and Sparrow and Vince as they are on the hard compound tyres, and those tyres are going to be absolutely fine. These three drivers have been just battling all race long. It's been great to watch. Very clean from all of them so far. As Raphael gets past Adam, and Adam gets past Raphael. With the assisted overtake. Further up the field, these two are going at it right again. F2 is about to start in 15 minutes as well, with the delightful Matthew Wrightson commentating for that. Now, who's going to have DRS this time? It's clearly going to be William Matthews, no question about that. William having a bit more battery as well, and he's going to get this move done quite easily. These two playing chess all race long for the last 12 laps. Been great from them. But Christian Lubinov is going to have DRS, and he's going to be arriving on the scene if they keep squabbling. As Meilberg finally dives into the pits, the first of the medium runners to pit. Rob Knable naturally overtakes them. And here we go again with these two. William got in the move than Darius. Darius was just too far back this time, and he's going to have to concede it for now. Stay a bit far back. Maybe Williams is dealing better with the tyre loss of the tyre wear. Darius says Lucas Franiak up to 14th. Now, as Sparrow and Twinsicle yet again are fighting, and every time we seem to watch them, they are in the S's going side by side. Twinsicle still having the advantage in this battle, with Rich closely following behind, waiting to pick up the pieces for any carnage that may ensue. As, speaking of Rich, he has a bit of a wobble there coming out of turn 8. Ahmed beginning to close down, and Adam not going to be able to make the move down into turn 11 here. Will be looking to make it down the main straight if he can keep with him for this next collection of turns. Adam Melolemi has kind of been on an island a bit this race. Hasn't really been racing anybody. He had a little squabble with Christian, but hasn't been able to keep up with him, unfortunately for him. And Christian's rapidly closing. He's dropped a 2.5 second delta down to less than a second, less than 3/4 of a second now, and he's going to be closing in again. And that's just solely because these two drivers are fighting every single lap, trading the position, going side by side, compromising themselves. And Adam has lost 2 places there, and these two drivers are going to go side by side into turn 1, the Red Bull and the Aston Martin of Ahmed and Mats. And there's a lot of contact there. Ahmed would have lost the car if he didn't actually bang into Mats there due to Adam. Luckily for him, Sparrow and Twinsicle fighting again. Sparrow's gotten the move done into turn 1, but is he going to be able to keep the position on the run down to turn 4? Rich finally pits as well to go and put the hard compound tyres on, as there's a yellow flag in sector 1, and that looks like to be a Red Bull. I think that's Andrea Rankovic. It is. I'm not even sure he's in the session, to be honest anymore. Further up the field, Christian Lubinov is rapidly closing in on Znek. Darius seems better. But anyway, he's going to have DRS here on the run into turn 11. Ahmed sticking now with Mats after he's dispatched Adam. Adam still not going away that easily. Great stuff to see so far. Now, and Darius has managed to drop Christian there. I think the two drivers are actually, I think William Darius have stopped fighting as Twinsicle pits, and that brings the Bard Tsunami up to 10. And there's a yellow flag, and that looks like to be an Alpine that has stopped at turn 10. Is it Callum Lyons? It is Callum Lyons, unfortunately for him. He's not having the best of races, or Callum. I think he just signed for ORT, or ART, whatever they're called these days. They just went through a recent merger with another tier or another organization. Rich is back up to 14th, and because of him pitting earlier, he may actually get out ahead of Sparrow here, because Sparrow, the undercut is quite strong in Bahrain, and it's going to be interesting to see as Vince Vincenza has lost the car and is DNF'd at the exit of turn 4. Just a bit of a traction heavy zone as the camera goes away from me, and that's going to bring out the safety car, and that's really going to save Sparrows behind here, I think, against the drivers who had pitted earlier. I expect every driver in the top 10 to all box here. I even maybe even Lucas Safraniak pits here and goes back onto the mediums. Softs are also a possibility, but it'll be a bit of a stretch as Callum Lyons pits now and will get a chance to catch up with the field as he sticks on the softs, and he's going to gamble, as this will expect to be a long safety car period, probably maybe 2 or 3, maybe 3 laps even, as Vince unfortunately left the session. So, as we said, 1, 2, 3, 4, and unfortunately for Manuel, he is going to get caught in the double stack here. Will he lose any positions though? That is the main question. We will stick with him as well to see what happens. He was P4. Where will he come out now after this? As that was a bit of a late, a long pit there for some reason. This is a bit of a disaster for Manuel, unfortunately for him. He's gone from P4, he's dropped 4 places down to P8, and the Williams of Robbie Knable actually gets ahead of him. Milberg stays out on his 3-lap old hards, and he's going to he's going to go up all the way to P4 to make up the position that Manuel lost. Mats goes onto the mediums. He's going to be a one to watch out for the rest of the race, as along with Sparrow and Lucas Rich. The rest of the field on the hards, apart from Callum Lyons as well on the softs. So interesting look today, a race in Bahrain. It was quite boring in some respects, apart from, if you took Max out of the equation, it was quite an interesting race. But, well, I don't know. F1 is in a weird state at the moment where you have the whole field is very close together, apart from one driver who's just, he might as well be just racing in a different tier altogether. Like, Max was over 20 seconds ahead at one point today against Checo, a guy in the same car as him. So, you know, how do you how do you nerf him? That's the question. You don't. Just a driver on the top of his game, but you know, if you're complaining about this, then you should have been complaining about Lewis a few years ago. That's the way I look at it. And if you weren't complaining about Lewis a few years ago, you shouldn't be complaining about this. Ferrari had a very bad day today. Well, not a very bad day. Carlos came third, which I suppose is the best result for Ferrari. But Charles seems to have issues with his brakes. The Mercedes drivers weren't great. Car just doesn't seem to be up to scratch this year, as we see Christian already warming up his tyres, maybe a tiny bit prematurely, as Callum Lyons and Andrea Rankovic are both going to get chances to catch up here. Well, Rankovic is in the middle of the pack in P16, and he's going to dive into the pits to try. I don't know what's going on here exactly. As he gets the 5 second penalty speed in the pit lane, I'm assuming that's the white flag from him. It's not, as he's going to change his front wing, so there's obviously some collision under the safety car as we have passed the halfway point for this race. Callum is not going to be overly exerting himself. He doesn't want to burn his tyres up, but he will be trying to catch up with the rest of the field before the safety car gets in, which won't be this lap. Callum's going very slow. Won't be this lap anyway, because there's 4 drivers yet to catch up. But yeah, so the top 3 are kind of who we expected to be the top 3 in this tier. Christian, even with his boasting, is a quick driver, and he's definitely going to be in contention for the title in F3, though it's not a certainty or foregone conclusion. William was very quick last season in the crossplay tier, having some good results, and he also raced in F1 once or twice and was relatively quick there, middle of the pack in F1 against some very, very strong contenders. So it's not going to be plain sailing for him as much as he thinks it is. There's not a whole lot to talk about here. Some fun facts about the track. The last 4 winners here, well, excluding today's race, were all won by different people. So Max is the first 2-time winner here since Lewis Hamilton, who won it in 2019 and 2020. And a notable race here was in 2020, when, 2020, but it's written 2020 twice, I don't know why. Strange. When Sergio Perez famously won here in Racing Point, when it seems his career was in quite some jeopardy. As we're getting no notice of the safety car being in this lap, so I'm assuming we're going to go around yet again. Yep, we are. This track was built by the German architect Hermann Tilke. who also built the Malaysian Grand Prix track in Sepang. Sepang is a great little circuit. Really hope it returns to the calendar soon. Yeah, so not a whole lot to talk about. Sparrow's overtaken Manuel for some reason under safety car, and I've missed that because I'm looking at this book that I bought. As Callum will catch up with the pack. And for poor Rankovic, for some reason, I don't know what's going on here, but it says he's a minute and 15 seconds down. So he's obviously been lapped. And he's going to get blue flags on Callum here in a second. So his race is effectively over. We can just hope for a few more DNFs and he can just sneak into the points as their top 12 make points in Ero. The safety car will be in this lap, as we've just gotten a notice from race control there, and William Matthews will lead us on this restart, giving the safety car a bit of space already to enter the pit lane. Only when the car is in the pit lane can he actually go. And the safety car is in the pit lane, and I think William has actually gone pretty early here before the last corner. And he hasn't caught the field sleeping though as a result. No one's been caught napping here at all. Bard Tsunami very close to the back of Manuel Alemi, who's dropped down to P10 now, unfortunately. What's happened there? He's lost 2 more positions. As someone's dived into the pits, that's Callum Lyons. Callum did so well to catch back up. You've got side-by-side action here between Manuel and Sparrow Maltby. Oh, yes, that was Sparrow, not Lucas. And also now, the Bard Tsunami is arriving on the scene. He seems to have cleaned up his act from last season, in fairness to him. I've given him a lot of stick in the chat the last few weeks about his terrorism that he committed last season in F5 or F4, whatever it was. Seems to have matured up. Well done to you. Everyone seems to have gotten through the restart without any chaos. And we seem to be all okay. William, half-second gap over Darius. These two have been jostling all race. And now Christian will be there this time, though, in this second half of the race to put pressure on the 2 drivers in front. They can't waste time fighting if they want to drop him. Milberg also on the scene now, but he does have 3 lap older tyres than the rest of the field. Matt's on the softer compounded tyre on the mediums, and he is going to have to push quite soon if he wants to make any headway before his tyres begin to drop off in about 7 or 8 laps time, maybe a bit longer. The Sparrow gets past Robbie for P8. No DRS just yet. He's going to get that moved. It looks like he's going to get the move to stick, as William Matthews now sets the fastest lap of the race. And Robbie is going to go after Sparrow here. But it doesn't look like he's got the wings to do it. It's a drag race turn 1 now. It's a question of who breaks last. And out of nowhere, what was that? Jesus, that was a dive from Manuel. Oh my god. And he actually manages to get both of them as Sparrow's gotten past Laggy. Obviously they had a little bit of a tussle there. Bard Tsunami arriving on the scene. This could be almost 4 wide, isn't it? Turn 4. It looks like the Alfa Romeo of Manuel has kept the position further behind. Little Dragon Me also in the mix. And finally the Bard Tsunami, as the Bard Tsunami almost touches the back of Sparrow's gearbox. Ozan, I think is his name. That was quite chaos. 5 cars now right behind each other going into sector 2, where it's very easy to tap into the back of someone, especially here into turn 10. You have to be very careful with your braking, and that looks to be quite safe. There's even more. It's like 7 or 8 cars. everyone keeping it relatively clean. It's good to see, as in the background we see a Red Bull just sailing off the track. Further up the field, Mats has been dropped by Christian as his yellow flag in sector 1, and that's Callum Lyons, and he looks to have lost the car in turn 4, and that will again bring out the safety car. Now, I don't think we'll see anybody pitting out, or are we surprised if we do, as Callum's left the session, unfortunately for him. Another poor race by Callum, but start of the season, long season, as you do see at least one driver diving into the pits, 2 drivers, 3 drivers, 4 drivers, 5 drivers. Into the pits. And Mileberg, interestingly, drops in. I don't know why he's dived in now, unless he's had wing damage or something. And it doesn't look like he has. No, he doesn't, so he sticks on the softs. He feels the softs are going to be very competitive towards the end of the race, which they will, so long as it's a short safety car period. And Rankovic back into the pits again. That was a good chance for him to unlap himself. Serving some random penalty I think he's gotten. And now, everyone down from P10 to P14, all on soft compound tyres. They're going to be attacking the drivers in front. It'll be interesting to see how many positions Mileberg does make up towards the end of the race. Look in the Haas, I find out his actual name. I'm assuming the safety car is going to be either in this lap or in the next lap. It can't be a very long one. No call yet for the safety car being in this lap. This might be a very late call. I don't think actually it's going to happen because Ero F3 is a lap down and I don't know what's going on here. It's burning battery to try and catch up with the field, but yeah. Anyway, so we're going to have at least one more lap of safety car action. As F2 is about to start in a few minutes as well, so plenty of F1 23 esports action happening. And Andrea is back into the pits yet again. I don't know what he's doing here. As Sparrow apologises to Callum for sending him into the wall on lap 1. Now, so we're going to have another lap of safety car because of whatever's going on with this random game. Expecting the safety car to be in this lap. Expecting. But William, it's not staying out another lap, surely. It is? That's not good. Well, I mean, this benefits, I suppose, This benefits all the hard runners. Well, actually, it benefits Mats, to be honest. Probably the biggest beneficiary. It's the soft runners seem to have lost out a bit here. Is they're going to be losing that attacking time. For some reason, we're just going to go around again. William even pushing the safety car a bit along. He wants to get along with its two. And the safety car will be in this lap. And as I'm just trying to sort out the stream for F2. And he will go. This is shaky. He will go. And he has not really caused the field lagging yet again. Poor choice of words, I suppose. We're back racing for the last 6 laps of round 1 in season 12 of Ero F3. Master Hart going to be looking to catch up with the rest of the drivers ahead of him, as Milberg's already gotten past Rich, and use those medium compound tires to try and get at least a podium here. As we saw Milberg starting to restart in 10. Milberg now up to P8 already, dropping in 2 positions. Ahmed and Manuel Olami fighting into turn 10. Manuel looks to keep the position here. Rich dropping down again further into P11 as another soft runner, which is Sparrow Monthly, getting up to P9. Bard Tsunami falling victim as this as a result. He's down and he's going to go side by side with Sparrow into turn 11. Manages to not make the move stick as Lucas Safraniak now arriving on the scene here, looking to also score some points. As a Williams goes a bit off the track there. And that looks to be the Ferrari of Rich. Unfortunately for him, has spun. Now Sparrow, and then Lucas Safraniak and the Bard Tsunami are fighting as well, as William Matthews sets the fastest lap of the race. Manuel Olami closing in on Adam Matsuek on the run now to turn 1. Is going to comfortably get this move to stick. Adam is a bit of a tiny bit of a lock up there. Lucas Safraniak getting past the Bard Tsunami, but he hasn't got the move to stick, as they're going to go side by side up to turn 2, up the hill to turn 2, and to turn 3. No DRS just yet, I think. Yep, no DRS just yet. And they're going to go side by side to turn 4. Ozan has the inside line and will manage to keep this move, I think. And with Lucas Safraniak, we're going to have to stay behind. Oh no, hold on. As they're going side by side to the S's, and Safraniak just kind of pushes his way through there. I was about to say Ozan was caught in a Mercedes sandwich, but he's not anymore. And Twinsicle arriving on the scene as well, as the Bard Tsunami seems to have lost the car here into turn 8, it is, I believe. And that's going to bring out the safety car yet again for the 3rd time this race. So I expect this to be a very, very quick safety car period. And if you're rich here, I don't know what I've just seen from Andrea Rankovic. What was that? As Ozan is saying, the McLaren twinsicle punted him into the wall. Unfortunate for you. You're having quite a good race as well, Ozan. Hard luck, mate. As Manuel dives into the pits to take out his fresh set of soft tyres. And a few drivers now will pit now. Oh, the bottom five, I think, are all pitting for first softs. And hopefully they catch up quite quickly so we actually have a few laps of racing. F5 had only one safety car yesterday, and now here we're having plenty. Unfortunately for Rich, the safety car came out because he did have an unfortunate spin into turn 8. And this is going to give William and Darius a bit of a breather because their little jousting they've been doing all race long. I'm assuming the safety car is going to be in this lap. I'm assuming. I'm very curious to see what Rankovic was doing there, losing his wing into turn 8. It was kind of strange. Bodéan, sorry. Bodéan. As we'll have another lap of safety car. My God, this whole half this bloody race has been under safety car. Sorry guys, there isn't a whole lot to talk about at the moment because well, we haven't got standings to update you on. We haven't got any essential news. So it's just, yeah. It's nothing really. As I'm just trying to see what Andrea Rankovic was exactly doing here on lap 24 because that was very, very strange. The bar tsunami is still typing. He's not too happy with whatever happened to him, unfortunately. Long season, mate. You've got 11 more races. Plenty of time to catch back up. Consistency is key to winning a championship, not just being quick. The safety car will definitely be in this lap, and we're going to have 3 laps of racing at the end. And Rankovic has gotten a penalty for, I don't know what he's doing this race. I'm not even sure if he's in control of the car, to be honest with you. As William is going to lead us again away for another restart, and he's not caught Darius napping this time, and Darius is going to have a look at him here on the run in turn 1. Not going to be near enough, I don't think. They're going to have to give space to each other here. Pretty clean from the two of them, as expected all race, as that is the Haas. It looks like a Mileberg has unfortunately gone off for him, and he's going to lose quite a few places here, as Manuel Alemi now on the soft tyres, only 2 lap pole, as Rankovic gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Twinskill and Mileberg fighting for P8 further down the field into turn 4. Bit of contact there, and through goes the Aston Martin of Ahmed, making up 3 places there, I think, in one turn. Excellent stuff from you. And there's a late dive there from Manuel into turn 8, I believe it is, on Ahmed. This is crazy stuff what's going on here. Yellow flag for Rankovic again. I'm not sure what is going on there. And the whole field is very, very closely bunched together as Twinskill goes miles off the track, and that's going to let Adam Matsuda go straight through. And you can see from Rob Knable's position here, POV, that they are very, very close to each other. The whole field separated by less than a couple of seconds. Ahmed with the biggest differential, he's over a second to catch up on Manuel. Mats as well is probably going to be pretty frustrated with all these safety cars. With Sparrow right behind him on the fresher tires, softer tires, and Sparrow got an excellent exit there as Robbie and Twinsicle are going to go at it into the final corner. Both drivers burning that battery. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. I think Rankovic is disconnected or something. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, further up the field, Zafraniak dropping up, moving up and dropping down places rapidly. Christian and Darius fighting as well. Going into turn 3, no DRS just yet. With only 2 laps to go, this gives William Matthews the perfect chance to get away, as he is not squabbling with anybody on track. Darius managing to keep the position against Christian. Manuel and Sparrow fighting as Robbie Canelo gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him. Is Manuel really going to have to push here as he's on the fresher and faster tyres? Beautiful helicopter cam. It probably isn't out of the question here if we can get a move on, especially with the drivers in front of him fighting. As Lucas Zafraniak and Mats Nahar are fighting again as well. Zafraniak managing to keep the position just for now. But here comes Mats Nahar into turn 11 on the outside. Isn't able to make the move stick, but isn't giving this one up just yet. There's a bit of contact there. Mats goes off the track. Lucas loses the car, and he loses 2 more positions to Raphael and Adam. Match manages to keep the position after all that. That could have been very, very disastrous for both drivers there. Rich and Twinsicle fighting further down the field for the final point spot in F3. Further up the field, DRS now enabled. Robbie getting past Zafraniak. Zafraniak dropping down as he's unfortunately spanned into turn 15 there for him. It's a disastrous end to the race for him. He's been competitive all races. Adam and Matt's now fighting it again. Christian has gone past Darius, going side by side to turn 2. Darius manages to keep the position, but Christian is going to have DRS here, and he's going to surely have a look at him now. No battery left. Darius not using any battery. Backs gives him a lot of space there, but Matt has to go on the outside, and Christian's going to get a better exit. There's a bit of a shake there. He loses traction. And that's going to let Darius sail away, and I think that's going to be it for P1 and P2, as Lucas Zafraniak retires from the pits. Unfortunately for him, a very bad end to the race for him. And then Manuel Olemi coming in, and is he going to be able to snake P3 here? Rich getting past Marburg. There's a bit of desync on the lobby as well. Coming into turn 10. And we're going to have DRS here, and he's got a much better exit. He's actually made contact with the back of his teammates there. Mileberg as well has left the session for some reason. Manuel thinking against the move there as Christian kind of firmly closes the door on him. I think Manuel's going to be a bit upset that he hasn't made up any more positions here with this restart on the fresher tyres. Further to the field, William Matthews will cross the line, barring any catastrophes, to claim the first victory in season 12 of F3. Very well done from him all season long. Great stuff. And Darius Bowden will manage to fend off Christian Lubinov for P3, Manuel Olami in P4, Sparrow Mompy with a great showing to finish P5, Adam Macklump, Matsuyuk in P6, Ahmed Rafael Medros P7, Masterhard P8, he'll be disappointed with that as well. Rich P9, Rob Knable P10, Twinsicle P11, Malberg P12, and Andrea Rankovic will finish P13 when he does finish eventually. And a variety of things being said in the Discord chat at the moment, from good race guys to people complaining about the game to people complaining about crossplay. Anyway, so just final confirmation of our standings. William Matthews P1, Darius Bowden P2, Christian Lubinov P3, Manuel Olami P4, Sparrow Mompy P5, Adam Matsuyuk in P6, Ahmed Rafael Medros P7, Master Hart, who's complaining in Discord, P8, Rich P9, Laggy Racer P10, Twinsicle, Milberg, Zefraniak, Rankovic round out our finishers. In the DNFs was Bard Tsunami, Callan Lyons, Vince Vincenza, Macaulay Beard, and Derry Phillips. And F2 is going on right now. I think on Matthew Wrightson's stream because we are having technical difficulties. So please hop over there if you're interested in watching more madness occur with Jean Goring, Adam Bradshaw, Lib Now from the admin team, all racing there currently. Anyway, that's enough from me, and we will see you again. Thank you.